What is going on, guys? So, I wanted to do a video on things that I think are perks of being in the military. For me, one of the number ones is that you get 30 days of leave time a year. So, it's 2.5 days every month that you do accrue, whatever. Anyway, you get 2.5 days a month, which ends up totaling 30 days. On top of that, you get all the government holidays as long as you do not have some type of duty. So Labor Day, for example, could be a 72 or 96. 72 is 3 days, so that'd be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, things like that. A 96 is 4 days, so that would be like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But you get things like that for free, pretty much. So you're already getting your 30 days. On top of that, you're also getting your government days off. So, for example, Thanksgiving, Christmas, right? Columbus Day, Martin Luther King, like all these holidays that school's out, the post office is out, things like that, you will have those days off. Like I said, as long as you don't have a 24-hour duty or some type of thing like that, right? There's always those exceptions, but that is something that you do get. Now, taking leave in conjunction with those may be a little different. That's like kind of up to your command and how you want to work that out. But if you want to not take leave during Christmas or things like that and just get the 96 that you would normally get, you can do that and then take leave other times. Now, the downside to leave, unlike other jobs where you may work a Monday through Friday and say you take 10 days of leave, right, or PTO, whatever it's called, right, you will take Monday through Friday, you would get your weekend, and then Monday through Friday again, so it's kind of like, in a way, 2 weeks. That doesn't work like that in the military, so they do take your weekends as leave days, if that makes sense. They don't break it up like a lot of civilian jobs do. Another thing, I feel like the military is probably one of the only ones where if you go to medical, number one, you have to go to your medical appointments that you do set up, and number two, that if for some reason you were found ill, you automatically get those days off. Like if they say, for example, during the coronavirus, right, COVID has taken a lot of people out, and whenever you do travel or possibly come in contact, they will do a mandatory time off. That does not get taken out of your leave days, and on top of that, that's just 3 days. Now, granted, you have to stay at home or in the barracks, so that may suck for you, but you get those unlimited times off. If you get the flu twice in 1 year and they tell you to be SIQ, sick in quarters, that means that pretty much you are restricted to your room or your house if you're married or whatnot out in town. You're restricted to that, and you have to stay there so that way you can get better. But it doesn't cap off like some civilian jobs do. Some, I think, mostly have like 5, 6 days or like that, but afterwards you don't get paid for those. For these, you still get paid. No matter what, you're going to be getting paid. Even if they tell you, hey, you're broken, you need shoulder surgery or whatever, and they tell you that you have to be out for 30 days, you're going to be out for 30 days. You're not going to be able to do whatever the doctors say you're not going to be able to do, and you're still going to get paid. So I also think that that is a perk. Another perk for me, so this would be perk number 3, is that I'm married, right? So I am out in town. I get housing allowance, and you can use housing allowance to your advantage. I want to make a separate video about this. You get, depending on where your duty station is, a certain amount according to your rank, how many dependents you have, and then, like I said, your zip code of your duty station. And you can actually look all of this up online and make sure that, you know, you're going to get where you are. Like, you can go to BAH calculator, type in, hey, I am at Miramar in San Diego, I am an E3 or whatever, and it will calculate with dependents or without and tell you how much you're going to be getting. And that is how much will be on your LES at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month, whatever. So you're going to know. Therefore, you can plan around how how much you will be spending on rent or whatnot. Now, if you're in the barracks, that's the part where it kind of sucks. You're just in the barracks, but you don't have to pay for a house. And some people don't think about it, especially young teenagers and things like that. They may say, "Oh, I only get paid $2,000 a month." You're right, you do if you live in the barracks. If you're E2 or E3 or whatnot, you do only get paid that, but you don't have to pay for a house. You don't have to pay for utilities or anything like that. Water, your water is free in the barracks, and yes, it may suck living in a barracks room with a roommate or whatnot, but like I said, you don't have to worry about that expense. You don't have to worry about having to find a place to pay for, plus utilities on top of that with water, garbage, all that stuff that goes into it, and you're still getting that $2,000. So getting BAH and working it to your advantage is something that I definitely find appealing. Now, number 4, some of the research that I have done, the military is still only one of the installations that give you a 20-year retirement. It is different than what it used to be. I think it used to be if you do 20 years or more, you get 50% of, I think it was like your past 3 years of what you made. So let's say that, I don't know, you made putting out a number, not saying this actually happens, let's say you made $90,000 in the past 3 years, each year, you will get 50% of that no matter what. So you'd get like $45,000 a year, just a check cut out to you, obviously split up over payments. I don't know if they pay twice a week for retirement. I mean, not twice a week, excuse me, twice a month for retirement, or if they just give you one check. I'm not sure on that, but I do know that you would get 50%. In general, like in theory, when there's no other factors coming out, things like that. Now, I think it is and don't quote me, 30%, but that's because they have implemented what they call the BRS, Blended Retirement Savings. And now it gives you an option to where if you do choose to retire in 20 years, I think you'll get like 30 or 35%. And right now you can put your money into what they call TSP, which is a thrift savings plan, which is pretty much like a 401k. And they do match and things like that. That would be a separate video if I needed to get into all that, but we're not going to talk about it. So I find that if you want to do 20 years, think about it. If you are a 17-year-old or you are an 18-year-old enlisting in the military and you do 20 years, you could be retiring with 30% of 90-something thousand, right? It's still going to be around $20-something thousand, $30,000, whatever it is, a year. I mean, that's almost like what some teachers make. And you just did 20 years. You're getting out at 37 or 38. Obviously, granted, all this is on good behavior. You get out honorably, things like that. But that's a really good perk. Like, do you know what you can do retiring and getting pretty much a teacher's salary? In some cities, not all, obviously, but getting like a teacher's salary or things like that, I mean, that's better than working at McDonald's, and you could be just sitting on your butt. So if you plan everything out correctly and you do what you need to do, I could have been doing so much more with my life by this point, is what I'm saying. I could have had so many years in already, but that's not the path that I took. But if the military is something that is appealing to you, this is definitely an option, and I think this is a great plan. It offers free school in and out of the military. Now, what I mean by that is while you were in, they have changed the rules. So as soon as you hit the fleet, you are eligible for tuition assistance. And all you have to do is apply, and as long as there is enough funding in your command to do so, you can go to school for free. You don't have to use your GI Bill. You don't have to use anything like that. Plus, depending on where you're at, a lot of the fees and things are waived, and you might even qualify for some grants. For example, in California, I was able to qualify for the Promise Grant, and also the out-of-state fees and all that was obviously waived because I am military. I just had to prove that I had orders here, and then I'm active military. That's it. So definitely not bad. I actually didn't even need the tuition assistance. I probably could have applied for it and got more money back after them even paying for my schooling. So you can go to school while you were in, and then whenever you get out, you have your GI Bill, and you can get that while you're out and continue on. So education, if that is also appealing to you, this is a great way. It is an option. Am I saying the military is great, amazing, and all of things? No, not necessarily. It has its downfalls, of course, but it also has its pluses, its advantages, plus discounts. You hear all the time, military discount, this, blah, blah, blah. You can get fees waived, gym fees waived sometimes. You can get different things, discounts on your cell phone plan. I can go on and on. Restaurants, like just all these places that may have some discounts that can save you some money. Most of the military discounts at like retailers and things like that are roughly around 10 to 15%. Some do more. It depends on the company. Or some don't do anything at all, but at least for the most part, that 10% or whatnot will cover the taxes of what you would be paying. So that's actually pretty cool. So that is a plus. Another thing, the health care. Now this may be funny sometimes because I know people see memes about, oh, just take some ibuprofen, drink some water, hydrate, change your socks, and you'll be fine. Because they talk about the care that is given to some of the military members by the doctors. For us, it is the Navy nurses and things like that and whatnot. Anyway, truth is that you kind of get free medical care, right? So you have your dental appointments, you have your shot, all that stuff, hearing, whatever it may be, and you always have the option to go, like if something does go wrong. I broke my foot. If you watch any of my other videos, especially about BCP, I broke my foot in the top part. To explain, like say this is my foot, these are my toes. I broke this part up here that holds all these kind of like together. So these are actually separating. And so I had to be put in a cast, and I had to, after that, wear a boot. I had a scooter. Like I could not put any pressure because of where it was. And they wanted me to heal without surgery. They didn't want to put a steel plate or cement all that back together because I wouldn't have the flexion and things like that, because it affects whenever you bend your toes up. Obviously, it puts pressure right here on this part, right? So they didn't want to do that. But medical, I don't remember how much comes out of your paycheck for your medical, but it's not that much. When I was working a good civilian job, I had Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance. I had always a $25 copay. On top of that, for 3 people, I'm pretty sure I paid over $200 of insurance, at least maybe like $180 every paycheck, and I got paid twice. So it wasn't that great. It was for out there, but compared to what I pay now, I want to say it's like $24, and I think I pay like $30 for dental to have extra for my wife and kids. So that's not bad. I just went to the dentist. I got a filling. I didn't have to pay anything. I didn't have to pay a copay. I didn't have to, like, I literally made my appointment, showed up, and was like, I'm here to get my filling. I'm here for my appointment. And they're like, okay, did the filling, and I left. Like, that was it. I got my wisdom teeth cut out with no insurance way back when because I'm old. And when I got them cut out, I had to pay like $400 and something. No, wait, take that back. I did have insurance, and I still had to pay $400 and something. Other than that, I think it would have been like $2,000. So I did have insurance. People in boot camp are getting their wisdom teeth taken out, cut out, or whatever, and they don't have to pay anything. Like just their regular monthly payment of whatever $24 a month it is for TRICARE. So you get your vision, your dental, and you're just regular medical vision. I went and got glasses. No problem. Didn't pay anything. Didn't pay anything with my glasses. Didn't pay anything whatsoever. I was lucky, so I was wearing my contacts, and I brought my prescription already of my contacts, and so he actually just ended up writing me a new prescription for my contacts, not fitting me. I don't think they can fit you without you paying because that part's not covered, because technically you don't need contacts, right? Excuse me, but you get your glasses for free. So that in itself is kind of huge. Whenever my wife and whatnot, she goes to the doctor, gets the medication she needs. I want to say her medication is like $4 for a 90-day supply, and her doctor visit was free. Like, it's not bad. It's not a bad gig. So those are some things that are definitely pluses about the military for me. Not to mention, on top of that, there's so many things that are offered. So in the military, if you are single or whatnot, there's a crap ton of volunteer events. They have, if I'm not mistaken, everywhere the Single Marine program. So they do like little things in the barracks all the time or stuff like that. And they will set up like paintball games. They will set up like kickball tournaments, things like that to get everybody involved, cookouts, whatnot. And so they just do a lot of stuff. At least I know with the Marines. They'll set up running clubs. They'll set up things like that. They'll go do a marathon, have volunteers come out. They'll cook out afterwards or whatnot. So there is a lot of stuff to do, a lot of perks. And yeah, so that is going to be the end of this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. But I'm tired of talking. My throat kind of hurts. And I'm ready to go inside. So I'm home. If you have questions, let me know. I will try to answer them accordingly. Have a great day.